Rimes has an amazing story. I think the part that amazes me is that she could sing the national anthem before Dallas Cowboys football games when she was only 10. But LeAnn Rimes was never an ordinary girl. She learned to sing and dance almost before she was able to walk and talk. Margaret LeAnn Rimes has literally grown up in front of our eyes. She was thrust into the national spotlight at age 8 after winning the junior vocalist competition on the television show Star Search. By 13, she had a record contract and a hit single, Blue. It went platinum 8 times over and earned her 2 Grammys along the way. One of those for Best New Artist marked the first time a country singer had ever captured that honor. So what's a 14-year-old to do next? LeAnn's 1998 mega hit, How Do I Live, went on to become the biggest crossover hit of all time, rocketing to the top of not just the country music charts, but the pop charts as well.
Shame on you if you fool me once. Shame on me if you fool me twice.
This showbiz veteran has recorded 10 albums and has sold over 27 million.
That was amazing. Thank you, guys.
I'm too old to be such a big fan, but if I could do that, that when you crack it, how do you do that?
Are you wanting me to do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, I'll bet there are any number of people here who you know, I can sing, I can kind of sing, but there are the little things like that are the difference between I can sing and I can make 100,000 people pay tickets to hear me do that.
Well, thank you. No, it's something, I've been blessed with a gift. Ever since I was a baby, I was singing, and there is a difference. I don't really think you can teach anyone how to sing. You know, there's people that are tone deaf, so you can't teach pitch. There's people, you just can't teach phrasing, you can't teach soul, you can't, you know, there's something that it's just a gift people are given.
Yeah, we got a picture I want people to look at. A picture of LeAnn. Ooh, so cute. How old do you think you are there?
Probably 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
I love that haircut, Mom.
And that little 2 or 3-year-old girl can sing. Let's listen.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now
I have a particular interest, I guess, in how you grew up and became the person you are. I have a girl about your age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she can sing too.
Oh, cool.
Oh, but
you know, I was born in Mississippi, and that was actually my grandmother that was sitting there, and that was at their house when I was probably 2 or 3 years old. And then I moved to Garland, Texas when I was 6. So, are you from Texas? I hear Texas. I grew up there, and my dad was a seismic supply salesman, and my mom worked odd jobs. I never grew up around a lot of money. My dad and my mom both just, you know, freely just gave me their time, you know, and really supported everything that I did.
When they discovered that you could sing, was it obvious early that you could really sing, that there was something special here?
You know, I didn't really feel any different from most kids until I was probably about 8 years old. And I would sing at Opry's around Texas, and I would see other kids my age sing, and it just wasn't quite the same. And I started to realize that I really did have this talent. And I knew at 5. My mom and dad told me that I knew at 5 years old I wanted to sing, and I was going to be a singer, and I told them this. And they were never pushy parents. They really did they encouraged, obviously, you know, the talent that I had, but never pushed me into it. I was a very pushy child.
They didn't slow you down.
No, no, no. They never. Obviously not. Obviously not. I think at one point, you know, when everything was really blown up and huge, and I was in a whirlwind of success around 15, I think my mom wanted to slow it down a little bit. She was losing her little girl to the rest of the world, so I know it was really hard for my mom at one time. But as a kid, no, I think it was just kind of pursuing my dream, and no one really knew what was going to come of it.
What if, question, what if you had gotten that part that you auditioned for in Annie 2?
Oh my goodness. You know, my first love is actually theater and Broadway.
Really?
And it was kind of funny because my mom always said, well, you know, we live in Texas. Maybe if you sing country music, that'll get you there one day. You know, just kind of taking a different avenue. And my godmother had heard of these auditions, and I came up to New York when I was 6, and they had auditioned, and all of these girls all over the United States had auditioned for Annie, and they were down to the top 10. And I knew, you know, we didn't even think I was going to be able to get in because they had narrowed it down already. And I was tap dancing outside, and I was the only one there for Annie. And I was tap dancing and singing because I was bored, and we'd waited 2 hours. And they walked down and they said, "Who's tap dancing?" And my mom said, "My daughter," and I'll make her stop. They're like, "No, bring her in. Please bring her in." So I did my little tap dance number and sang "Tomorrow," and happy birthday. They wanted me to sing "Happy Birthday," and I remember what came out of my mouth, and my mom just like looked at me like this. What
came out of your mouth?
It was like, I just did this like big version. It was like, "Happy birthday to you." I mean, like, my mom's like, "You don't sing like that, you know, happy birthday." And I made the top 11. So, and they thought, and I'm glad my mom did what she did. They thought I was too young, and it was a big show to carry. And I'm glad I waited. But a dream of mine is to do theater and Broadway one day.
Before you were 16, I've read, you had done more than 500 appearances.
Yes, I did 500 shows in 3.5 years from the time I was 13.
That's got to have a downside.
Very much. Yeah, I mean, I burnt myself out, and you know, it was a very tough job to have at 13.
Can we talk about that
yeah,
in a moment?
Absolutely.
Well, we will when we come back.
I wanted my dad there, and that was, I think the main thing was I wanted my dad to be my dad, my mom to be my mom, and stay out of my business. And it wasn't trying to fight for my independence. It was just I wanted my parents back.